Hello, my name is Ronald Clayton, and I would like to take the time to illustrate what the signing of HR 4783 means to the American Indians. HR 4783 comprises of two separate events. One is the authorization of the settlement for the Cobell versus Salazar class action lawsuit, and the other is approval of 4 Indian water rights settlements totaling more than $1 billion that will deliver clean drinking water to tribes in New Mexico, Arizona, and Montana. The settlement in question for the Cobell versus Salazar case establishes a $1.9 billion fund for voluntary buyback and consolidation of fractionated land interest to address continued proliferation of thousands of new trust accounts caused by the division of land interest through succeeding generations and for other trust-related activities. The consolidation program provides individual Indians with an opportunity to consolidate and transfer divided ownership interest to their actual tribal governments, where they will still remain in trust for the benefit of the tribal community. The individual Indian will receive cash payments for these transfers, and as an additional incentive, transfers will trigger government payments into a $60 million Indian Scholarship Fund. As for this settlement, it actually establishes 3 things. One, being a form of settlement for compensation to the class action lawsuit members for historical account claims and to resolve potential claims that prior to U.S. officials mismanaged an administration of the trusted assets. In other words, it's to pay back with money the damages caused by the mishandling of those individual Indian account funds that were going into those accounts. The second portion, as we look at it, addresses the ability for the individual Indian to voluntarily sell portions of their fractionalized land back to the federal government for compensation. Now, there is a couple of issues with this, and I'll make another video which I can go into more detail on, because I have pamphlet in a registration form that my wife received involving this case to become a member of this class action lawsuit. It also sets back money to initiate a college fund for American Indian children. This college fund starts off with a $60 million initial setup. However, when you sell, or if you were to sell at your option, your fractionalized land interest, a portion of that money will be put into that account, and you will get what the remainder is. Again, I will make a second video with information from the 16-page pamphlet that you can get on the contact slide toward the end of this presentation. The slide you're viewing now is the contact slide to receive any additional information. Once again, I am not a lawyer, and I'm not giving out legal advice. I'm just enlightening everyone that is interested into what is actually going on. I highly recommend that, whether or not, if you know for sure or you have any question excuse me, of whether or not you have an active Indian money account or have had one in the past. And what I mean by this is, if you're receiving any sort of financial payment from leasing of land for oil, gas, timber, grazing, things of that nature, to contact the information in the bold black toward the bottom, the place from Dublin, Ohio. You can also call them at their 800 number. They are more than willing to answer any questions, and it is very imperative that if you feel that you are or could be involved with this class action lawsuit as far as fitting in the parameters, that you give them your information to send you the registration form and the 16-page pamphlet, which again will go into more detail. If you have not received the pamphlet, I am making a second video that will highlight certain areas in the pamphlet that you should know about. This concludes the presentation. Please understand that I am not a lawyer and I'm not giving out legal advice. I am merely trying to illustrate what is actually going on so that you can be a more informed individual in the decisions you need to make. I highly encourage, if you do have questions, go back to the contact slide at the end of this presentation and utilize that information. I appreciate your time, and like I said, I will be putting out another video where I go into detail about the 16-page pamphlet that you will receive if you send them your information. Thank you.